In this video, we're going to solve quadratic equations by factoring with a leading coefficient of 1. So you can see our leading coefficient here is 1, and when we go to factor a squared minus 4a minus 12, we want to look at the factors of negative 12 that add to negative 4. Well, let's write out all the factors of negative 12. We've got 3 and negative 4. We got negative 3 and 4. We've got negative 2 and 6, and we've got 2 and negative 6. Obviously, positive 1, negative 12, negative 1, positive 12. So we want to see which ones of these add up to negative 4. As I go down the list, I get negative 1. That would be 1. This is 4. This is negative 4. So 2 and negative 6 are my factors I want to use here. So I'm going to write this as a, because I split the a squared, and that would be minus 2, oops, sorry, wrong one. I'm looking at this one here. That would be plus 2 minus 6, and that's equal to 0. Now I'm going to use what's called this is called the zero product property. Zero product property. What the zero product property says is that, we're going to call that ZPP by the way, is that if I have two numbers being multiplied together and it equals 0, so I've got like A times B and it equals 0, then either A equals 0 or B is equal to 0. One of the two has to be equal to 0 if you're going to multiply and get 0. So if we use this logic here with our two binomials, then that means that A plus 2 is equal to 0 or A minus 6 is equal to 0. So I'm going to write ZPP. That's the property I'm using. I want you to do that every single time in your homework. So zero product property, A plus 2 equals 0 or A minus 6 equals 0. So then you get A is equal to negative 2 or A is equal to 6. So we have solved the quadratic for the two possible solutions, and we know there are two solutions because our exponent here is 2, which tells us the possible solutions for the quadratic. Let's do a second example. In this example, we have, again, a leading coefficient of 1, so we're going to take the factors of negative 21, the end term, and we're going to try and find the ones that add up to 4. Well, we know that there is 3 and negative 7 and negative 3 and 7. If I add those together, obviously 1 and 21 could work as well. I better write those out. But it's going to be one of the combinations of 3 and 7 because I have a difference of 4. So 3 and negative 7 is negative 4. Negative 3 and 7 is positive 4. So this is the two terms that I'm going to use here. So I have x, splitting the x squared term, minus 3 and plus 7 equal to 0. I have two binomials being multiplied and they equal 0, so I'll use the zero product property again. So x minus 3 is equal to 0, or x plus 7 is equal to 0. Add the 3, I get x equal 3, or subtract the 7 and x is equal to negative 7. In the first example I didn't state this, but if you plug in a 3 into this equation, you will zero out the left side, or if you plug in a negative 7 into the left side, you also zero that out. So I have our two solutions here, and that's how you solve quadratic equations by factoring.